Security cameras are an increasingly important essential that helps monitor and surveillance and makes keeping tabs on our essentials more accessible than ever before. With that in mind, we just got our hands on the eufy SoloCam S340 that allegedly comes with integrated solar panels, which roughly translates to a potentially endless battery life as long as the sun shines anyway. We've been using the camera for a while now, and in our video today, we'll get up close and personal and unbox, check, and give you a full-fledged review of the eufyCam S340. So without further ado, let's begin. Sliding the box out and opening it, we found the camera itself sitting snugly beside the solar panel, which acts as one of the main attractions of the camera. In order to mount the panel securely, there's also this mount you can use, provided thoughtfully by eufy. As far as connectivity goes, we've got this fairly long 3-meter USB-C cable, and we're pretty sure it'll give us a ton of flexibility. And for a safe, secure, and sturdy installation process, we're also greeted with this screw pack. And as for additionals, here's the quick start guide, and we will not be throwing it away because sometimes it's nice to have some clear instructions. With that out of the way, let's see what the camera is all about, shall we? From the design language, it's apparent that eufy put a ton of thought into crafting such a camera that can easily withstand inclement weather conditions. As you can see, the build quality is pretty outstanding, and it's easy to point one out due to the high quality materials used during its constructions. At the front, you can see the dual camera setup that does not only look promising but performs flawlessly. The whole setup comes with a motion activated 100 lumen spotlight built in, which easily and effectively adds a layer of security to the entire setup, which means regardless whether it's the darkest night or the brightest day, this camera has us covered. Now, on top of the camera, we found a mount to attach the solar panel and found that it adds a layer of practicality to the Solo Cam S340. In a nutshell, we found the build quality and the design language of the camera to be above average and definitely impressive. Now, how exactly do you install the camera and get it up and running? Well, it'll depend on the position you want the camera to be in and the viewpoint of your projected space. From our end, we carefully selected an appropriate spot for us to set up the camera, and in the process had to drill 2 holes in the wall for the camera to be positioned accordingly. Fortunately, the mounting of the solar panel required no additional drilling, as it was easy to mount it on top of the camera. At this point, it's obvious, but just for the sake of pointing it out, we needed to make sure the solar panel is set in a position where it can absorb direct sunlight without interruption. The 10-foot cable came in pretty handy in this regard, and everything was done and set up smoothly without any issues. First and foremost, the thing that'll catch anyone's eye is the 3K and 3K dual camera system that provides us with footage with an unparalleled level of clarity. The 3K wide-angle lens gave us a detailed 135-degree FOV with a large f-stop 1.6 aperture. And as the cherry on top, the 8x hybrid optical and digital zoom allowed us to shoot detailed images of faces and assisted in reading license plates in a 50-foot range. The dual camera system in this case was very useful to use as we monitor our project, since it provided enough versatility and allowed us to switch between wide 3K and telephoto seamlessly. Each perspective was unique in itself without any compromise on color, clarity, quality, or sharpness. When the sun went down, we experimented with 2 different modes. The infrared night vision mode's performance wasn't anything out of the ordinary and worked as expected. However, things took a turn for the drastic when we activated the 100 lumen spotlight. As you can see, it wasn't just a faceless claim, and the light genuinely amplified from the overall experience. We also experienced an innovative feature in the S340 camera in the form of an on-device AI tracking system. Whenever this camera senses motion, you can see it automatically tilt and track to keep the source of the motion in focus and keep it exclusive to humans and vehicles. However, since we were more inclined to use the camera for indoor surveillance, it didn't matter much. Upon detecting no motion for up to 5 seconds, you see the camera automatically returns to its default position. Now, what makes all of the camera features work intuitively is the proprietary app from eufy, which allows us to control the pan and tilt, effectively giving us manual control over the device. Here you see we also have a dedicated and customizable preset position where we could set up to 4 presets according to our needs. In addition, we also could enable or completely disable the AI tracking feature through the app, just like that. Charging is where things turn more interesting, as eufy equipped their camera with robust solar charging, and thanks to their Solar Plus technology, the camera could harness the power of the sun to charge the camera without having to rely on electricity. According to eufy, just 2 hours of sunlight daily would suffice for powering up the camera. However, in a case where the sun is out, the camera comes with a built-in 10,000 mAh rechargeable battery that can house over 3 months of power in reserve. eufy stated that the Solar Plus is required to have 2500 lux to charge, whereas in comparison the rest require at least 10,000 lux available to charge the devices. The hybrid series parallel architecture of the camera enabled us to charge the camera even when leaves or other objects came in the way. You can get your hands on the eufy SoloCam S340 for $199.99 as of right now. It's hard not to be impressed with the eufy SoloCam S340 with its camera system, AI tracking, and incredibly useful solar charging capabilities. The dedicated app we used was smooth and hassle-free and acted as the cherry on top. We are pretty satisfied with the camera, and we just cannot wait to hear what you say about this. In conclusion, the Solo Cam S340 is a solid value for money camera that's prone to spoil your concept of surveillance.